Hi Paola,
Quando l'hanno
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I cannot hear anything. I can't hear anything.
They didn't start yet.
Oh, okay, thanks. Go.
Wow. All right. Hello, folks on Zoom. Can you hear us okay? You can.
Yes.
All right, we hear you.
Yep.
Very well.
Yes. Thank you.
Elsie, can you say something again? I want to make sure folks in the room can hear you okay.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Everything looks good.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. All right. Good evening. How are folks feeling on such a gloomy, dreary day? I love Heidi's energy. I'm gonna, is it okay if people put it on themselves? Okay. All right. It might be better. So they keep calling and I don't know. One notch. Okay. All right. We'll keep playing with it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I know it is dreary. It is a little dark in this room, but we got the energy. We bring it all. We have an exciting, jam-packed evening. We do have our agendas posted on our website, and I can activate it on Zoom shortly if folks do not have it handy. Just a quick reminder, we have about 13 minutes left. If there's anybody who would like to speak for the public session, this is an opportunity where anybody who's not an assigned board member that can speak. So if you have a question, a comment, a concern, if you have an I don't know, but I want to share something, that is your portion and moment in the evening to share it. It is 2 minutes. And we'll be happy to connect with folks in the room if need be. And I'm just gonna, I know for some folks this is usual, but as I said, we do have some new names on Zoom and in the room. The majority of our meeting is in English, but if you would like to follow along and you're on Zoom in another language, you can turn on captions. And we do have norms, right? So this is our general meeting. It's a little different from, typical community meetings where you can have really rich back and forth dialogue. This is really where we vote on business that is before us. And we get to hear from our elected officials. We get to hear from community groups and individuals on their concerns. And dialogue tends to happen at all of the meetings on the first 2 weeks of the month during our committees. So really, if you have a concern, question, or comment, some members might pull you on the side or some of our staff, and we definitely encourage you to attend our committee meetings where we can engage in more meaningful dialogue. So that means during this meeting, only board members are able to speak. So that's why we really encourage folks to speak during that public session. So if you just don't know, sign up for it, whether in chat or on the table here on the right. A reminder, we want to be out at a great time. We don't want rain to catch us really late. And we do have real limitations into the space. So we ask everybody to keep your comments and questions or anything concise to under 2 minutes and remain to the agenda. For folks on Zoom, please continue to use the chat to alert us of any technical difficulties. If the sound goes out, if you quite didn't catch something, please use it. Anthony Viola, who's our first vice chair, will be monitoring it as well as myself, so we can catch any of that. But we do ask folks, to not use the chat for dialogue or opinions. But you can use the emojis or the reactions. Based on open meeting law, we need to be able to have our record and our minutes reflect that. So we want to be able to limit any dialogue or comments in the chat. We can always encourage folks to bring those to our actual meetings. Let's see. All right, I don't think we have quorum yet. No, all right, so we don't have quorum. So we're gonna skip calling the meeting officially to order, the adoption of our agenda and our minutes. But I would like to say that when we do reach quorum, we are joined by members online who have exemptions or who have joined due to emergency situations and caregiving responsibilities and duties. We know also there are folks who are online because they are traveling due to the holiday. If you are a board member and you're online and you have not reached out to the office, or just message Anthony and myself directly, not necessarily the open chat, in terms of your reasons for joining online, we'll make sure that your attendance record, and your voting record is reflected accordingly. All right, So with that said, okay, I guess I'm gonna go straight into the chair report. Yep. All right, chair's report. I want to keep it short and sweet because we have many reports before us this evening. I want to really give shout outs to this body. We have had a series of working groups formed, so everything from our nominating committee. We have our holiday planning committee. And we have our search committee for our future district manager. All in all, at least like 20 members, or maybe a little bit, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe a little less than that, have really taken some additional time outside of committee responsibilities and day-to-day responsibilities to put all of these pieces together with a lot of care and attention, online, over the phone, in person. So I just want to share some gratitude and thank you. These are necessary processes, and it's been really great to connect and have that opportunity really to connect in a different environment versus our typical work. So we'll hear from our nominating committee a little bit later. And for our holiday party that is actively planning on a weekly basis, we want to remind, and I think everybody got to their inbox, we do have our CB12 holiday gathering Friday, December 12th. And I just want to remind folks, it is also our evening to celebrate Ebenezer's 20+ years of service, of public service, and particularly into this district. So we really want to be able to celebrate him right, to share all of the comments and loves and all of that on Friday the 12th, because that is when we got the space and the time all evening to do so. So if you haven't RSVP'd, please RSVP. We'll have lots of special guests. And so I'll pause there. I don't want to spoil the surprise of it either, sorry. And then lastly, I'll have just a really brief update. I think we'll have a little bit more coming via email, is around our search for our future district manager. We know we have some really big shoes that have not been filled in a long time. I want to just a quick update is that we did have, I think I want to say about 51 applicants for the role, and our search committee finalized our round one interviews of candidates today. And so we'll be moving forward with round two through the exec, and the goal, the assignment, the call is to present a district manager at our December general meeting. I know last month when I asked members to sign up on the preferred date, it was the 16th. I think there's some copies that are incorrect. It is Tuesday, the 16th, our general meeting in December. So it's very, very important. If folks, it's actually, let me take that back. For members who may not know who are newer, the full board votes on hiring and when we make an offer to a candidate. So it's really important for us to have a quorum that evening. So if you know that you can't attend, please let the office, let myself know so that we can plan accordingly. And we really want to hit that goal of the 16th because, as you know, we are also transitioning our elected officers. But we want to make sure that the transition of the board is as smooth as possible, and we don't have to wait until the end of January to make an offer to the candidate. Thank you. If you didn't sign in, oh, thank you. So that concludes my report. Are there any questions from board members? Don't see, I think, yes. All right, that's none online. All right, I would like some energy, big round of applause, cheers for Ebenezer's final report at our monthly general meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much. Here I am. I have an update on Audubon Plaza for you. New York City DOT paved the Audubon Avenue Street between 165th and 166th Street. And the audit is Talisa Almonte. is about to complete the street mural. The street mural titles is De Lo Mío. Is, I don't know how to translate it to English, is of mine, of my people. And it's showing the Dominican faceless dolls and the Domino's chips, which they are on the street. It's about to be ready. She's gonna complete it by Friday this week. And this afternoon, we receive an invitation from New York City DOT for the ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday, December 4th at 10 a.m. If you can make it, please do so. Last week, Community Board 12 had the District Service Cabinet meeting in person. First District Service Cabinet meeting in person after 5 years. The last one was in early 2020, and around more or less 25, 30 people attend, including city agency representatives, elected official representative, one elected officials, and also board members. A few board members were in attendance. During that meeting, the new sanitation superintendent, Department of Sanitation superintendent, said that the idea that our Traffic and Transportation Committee has of as a resolution restoring the 2 days street cleaning is a very good idea, and he is in support, and he promised to bring that idea to his superiors. And I think this is a very good idea because in November 2020, this board passed a resolution requesting New York City Department of Sanitation to reduce the street cleaning frequency to 1 day per week. After that resolution and implementation, I think it was in 2012 that was implemented, we create a chaos in the district. Cars that don't move at all or sweeping. The district is very, very, very filthy. And I've received, especially in this year, in the last, November, in the last 10 months, I have been receiving phone calls almost daily of superintendents, business owners, saying that there are cars, vehicles in front of the buildings that they don't move. And yesterday, I received a phone call from the superintendent from 601 West 108th Street. I think it was the third time that he called me, reporting that there is a 2 vans parked in front of his building, that they never move. And those vans have been used as a storage for street vendors on St. Nicholas Avenue. And when the sweeper goes by, then I even get parking violation. So I think this is a good idea. I just spoke with Leo, and he said he's gonna introduce that resolution, and I hope that this time the board passes and approves the restoration of the 2 days cleaning. And during cleaning in my office in this day, I found an old Manhattan Times edition reporting about this resolution that we passed in 2012, saying, reporting that, that the board requested the reduction of the street cleaning. And there was a comment, they quote Jim Berlin saying, when you ask the city to reduce service, you're never gonna get back. Jim, I hope that, that's the Manhattan Times saying that, and I hope that we get it back this time and we have the 2 days clean. So last week also we had a meeting with the new Department of Transportation Borough Manhattan Commissioner, Ms. Danielle Zuckerman, Paola Garcia, and also our chairperson, Catherine Diaz, participated in that meeting. And I was able to convey to her our needs in the district, the ongoing needs that never pass, especially the problems that we have with jurisdiction among the agencies. I told her what we need. We mentioned the 191st Street tunnel. We mentioned the zigzag going to the Riverside Drive. Also the cleaning on Haven Avenue. Is jurisdiction overlap there. And she paid attention to what I said, and she took note, hopefully that she can follow up and keep trying to resolve the problems. So one of the problems we have is some columns on the list of the ramp that go to the George Washington Bridge that they are in disrepair. And I told her, this is not only the district, this is the entrance to the estate, because people coming from New Jersey, they have to drive in that area. And what they see these columns in totally disrepair. This is the end of my report. Is there any questions? Okay, I don't see any question here. This is my final report as district manager of Community Board 12 Manhattan. After 37 years and 5 months, 37, it was not 20, it was 37. I started working.
More than 20.
Well, no, more than 30. 37 years and 5 months as civil servant of the city of New York is my time to retirement arrive. So I'm gonna be retired starting December 1st. My career journey for the city of New York include 9 years in Parks Department, 10 years in the Department of Transportation, and 18 years in Community Board of Manhattan. First, I want to say thank you to God for giving the strength and wisdom to do my job in all these city agencies. The strength because many of the jobs that I have, I need to use my physical strength, and also my mind, because in this job I need to use the mind a lot. And I extend my gratitude to all the supervisors that I had during my career, because they give me the opportunity to grow and the opportunity to change here and there. So also, I want to say special gratitude, thank you, opportunity to Community Board 12 to give me the opportunity to serve as your district manager. I appreciate all the city agency representatives, elected officials, and board members who attend the last district service cabinet meeting to wish me well. I have a special thanks to State Senator Robert Jackson, who attended in person and read a meaningful proclamation. I also want to thank Congressman Adrian Espaillat, who for sending me a very thoughtful recognition quoting Proverbs 3:27. That says, "Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to act." This word resonates very deeply as our responsibility to provide service to the city of New York. And finally, and the most important, I want to say thank you to my family. To my wife, Altagracia Jorge here, and my 5 children, Michael, Christopher, Harry, Emmanuel, and Carla. Thank you, because you guys were the true motivation to wake up every single day and come to work. Without you, it was not be possible, because I came every morning, I wake up every morning to make the means to support you and to give you the education that you have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you all.
I said we were saving it for Friday, but I don't think so. Wow. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. I know we're gonna save the best for Friday, but I think, a lot of us board members struggle. It's a tough role to fulfill. It is a tough space. I think a lot of us question how we make it to 5 years, 10 years, let alone 40 years. And so to know that Ebenezer's been of service for 18 years in this district, in this body, with the many roller coasters that exist in government, is incredibly moving. And I know we're all incredibly grateful for your leadership and for your time. That means many nights away from your family, many days, a lot of stress. And so it's something that I think goes without saying in terms of our gratitude. So thank you. If folks didn't see, some of his family members are here as well. For folks that didn't. And Caroline. No other better note than to call our meeting to order at 7:07 PM formally. We don't have edits actually for tonight's agenda. We do.
We have to adopt the September minutes.
Yes, that's why did we get, that's all I wanted to ask.
We did, they were
Okay, great.
distributed.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna put for adoption of the minutes will include both October 2025 and September 2025. All right, is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda with the edit?
So moved.
Leo first, seconded by Liz. Are there any abstentions? Any no's? All right. Agenda is adopted for tonight. And then for our minutes for October and September, is there a motion?
I'd like to move. I have a couple of small edits.
Okay, great. So considering with those edits, Liz moved and seconded by Wayne. Any abstentions or negatives?
Just one that I'd like to state publicly, I was not at the September meeting. I'm listed as present. I was excused because it was a religious holiday. I got it.
So we'll make sure, thank you for providing that. We'll make sure that it's also adjusted in the membership attendance record. What is it? Nobody, any abstentions, sorry, for minutes? No, so, all right, hearing none, minutes are adopted. So we're going to move to our reports from elected officials and or their representatives. Do you want to start, Zoom?
Okay, we'll start with Zoom. So the first is Ian Boldeston from Councilmember Abreu's office. As always, you have 3 minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Happy early Thanksgiving from our office. And first of all, congrats to Ebenezer on your retirement. I'm obviously very new to attending CB12 meetings, but thank you for your decades of public service to the city. It's very remarkable, and definitely as someone who's just starting out and being a public servant, I guess it's inspiring. First of all, legislative update from our office. A couple weeks ago in the city council, trash containerization bill passed, which will extend the West Harlem pilot program with the Empire bins on the street to larger residential buildings citywide. So for buildings of 10 units or more, they're gonna have the Empire bins. And given the success, the program has had in West Harlem so far, the lessons learned from DSNY and changes that have been made based off community members' feedback, we're definitely excited for it to spread. I think it's been a really big win so far for sanitation, for public health, sightliness, just general quality of life. Definitely. So, yeah, excited about that. Then with regards to the Riverside Drive Viaduct, we recently followed up with the city's law department to try and get copies of the litigation documents to better understand the nature of them and hopefully be able to provide the community some more transparency. Also, DOT has told us they're gonna finally address a few immediate safety concerns, some regarding the temporary Bronx 6 bus stop, so it's safer for passengers to board and exit. And then they're also replacing a trip hazard and also moving some other items around to improve sidewalk access a bit there. So we'll keep everybody updated as we continue to try and keep the pressure on DOT and the contractor. Participatory budgeting idea collection is still going on. The original deadline was November 28th, but you can still submit ideas through December. So, if you have any on how you'd like to see capital funding spent in the neighborhood, we'd love to hear it. You can submit your ideas online or by reaching out to our office. Most recently around the district, we finished our last round of turkey giveaways for Thanksgiving this morning. Overall, we gave out about 850 turkeys, I think. And yesterday we did one on Councilmember Brady's block on West 161st, between Riverside and Fort Wash, where he grew up. So we had a really big turnout there as a special event. Coming up in our office, the Department of Finance will be there on December 4th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., providing help on tax issues, payment submission, exemptions, other things like that. So, please call our office if you'd like to schedule an appointment. And that's pretty much all from me tonight, but we'll be sending out an email newsletter in the next day or two with more community updates. But yeah, appreciate it and hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Great, thanks so much. Any questions for Ian before we move on to the next person? I see one in the room.
Yeah, I was just wondering if, and let me know if you can hear me. Right. Does the legislation on expanding trash containerization account for an implementation timeline? And if so, what is that timeline?
Yeah, there's a deadline. There's supposed to be fully rolled out by 2032, but there isn't like specific benchmarks set yet for the Department of Sanitation. But I think they're, putting together a plan in terms of prioritizing, which neighborhoods or areas around the city they think need it most. And yeah, hopefully we'll be releasing that at some point.
I see a question from Anne. Anne, go ahead.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, Ian. Wondered when your office requested the litigation documents on the viaduct situation, and if you've heard any feedback from them yet.
Yeah, we emailed them a couple weeks ago. Wait, sorry, you said from the litigation documents. Yeah, we emailed them a couple weeks ago, and didn't originally hear back. We sent a follow-up, so hopefully we'll get something. Like DOT has been pretty, obviously cagey, as but the law department has been, pretty responsive to us. So hopefully we'll get those soon.
Thanks. Is Leo here tonight on traffic?
Yes.
Leo, I don't know, is this a good time to ask if you have anything to add on that matter?
So prior to I'm not sure the council members part, but when you reached out to me about a month ago when this plan came to light, I had connected with the OT and we came to an agreement to improve the safety measures, remove any unnecessary materials, and they're acting in good faith. So I'm glad to hear from the council members' office that they're gonna take those next steps. We're just continuing following up on that to ensure that they're held accountable. They actually.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so
Ian.
much, Leo. Did they grant you a meeting, Leo? Have you been able to meet with the DOT?
And yes, I have. It's ongoing conversation. I'm gonna loop you in online. You can kind of have.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Great,
Thank you.
we'll move on to the next. Oh, there's a question in the back. Good
I
morning.
was wondering, is there an update on the 157 train station elevator?
Did you catch that, Ian?
You couldn't hear it. The question was, if there's an update on the elevator at the 157th Street 1 train station.
Yeah, I did hear that. Thanks. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but let me follow up with our office and then I'll send you guys an answer.
I'll give you some. So it's not included in the 2025 to 2029 capital expense budget on MTA's end. We submitted it, so I went to a meeting earlier this year. I submitted it as one. They are gonna take a look at the infrastructure though, due to weather conditions and issues. So they're looking into that, but it's not for the elevator. This go around.
I only asked simply because their other spokesperson mentioned it before, so I just wanted to follow up.
Yeah. They unfortunately didn't. We have 215. We have a couple in our district. We'll be getting elevators added or installed. That's on the back burner, but we're gonna keep pushing it, so hopefully it comes up for the next.
Great, thank you. Right, our next speaker is Edgar Taveras from State Senator Robert Jackson's office.
Hey, good evening, CB12. Just to since the last report, there hasn't been too much to report other than that we continue to be in communication with a variety of tenants and organizers who are working together regarding the Pinnacle Realty and City Skyline court bankruptcy and default matters in order to protect tenants' rights and make sure that they get the services that they need and to help guide them through this process in order to understand what their options are as litigation continues regarding the statuses of ownership in these buildings. Otherwise, we have also participated in not just turkey, but also grocery giveaways, making sure that we are serving people in the community who are not only just in need for the holidays, but even, aside from that, we have also created a list of resources. I can put that in our chat that it's a list of local organizations who are all donating food to people in need or experiencing food insecurity and things of that nature. Aside from that, we also want to acknowledge that session will be back in January. There are our policy and legislative directors are already drafting up new pieces of legislation that would be of importance to not only CB12, but also the rest of our Senate district, including the west side of the Bronx. And aside from that, not just speaking for myself, but also for our office, we want to thank Ebenezer for his service. It was a great time being in person at the DSC meeting with him. Even though that was the farewell one, that was my first personal one in the office at the Alianza building and whatnot. But it was a great time, not only being there with him, but also with all the different city agencies and local organizations in order to farewell him in the best way that we can, and we wish him good luck in in his future endeavors, of course. And that's pretty much it right now.
Thank you, Edgar. Any questions for Edgar? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to in-person elected, starting with Noah Coy from the Public Advocate's Office. Then after him, it'll be Lori Tobias Cohen from Congressman Esayal's office.
Alrighty, good evening. I hope everyone's doing well. So I just want to start out by acknowledging a couple of holidays that happened earlier this month, being Veterans Day on November 11th, and then Transgender Day of Remembrance, which was last Thursday, November 20th. I also want to honor Mr. Ebenezer Smith on a remarkable career in public service. I think he's had, 37 years and 5 months. That's absolutely amazing. I want to thank him for serving our community of Washington Heights and Inwood, and our office wishes him all the best in his retirement. So I have a couple of legislative updates to share. So last Thursday, November 20th, the Public Advocate released a review of the city's response to mental health crises. He highlighted both the progress made in recent years, as well as the inaction or regression in other areas. And this review follows similar reviews undertaken by the Public Advocate's Office in 2019 and 2022. And the review comes just days after the Adams administration announced a shift in the city's management of mental health crisis response teams. So I have a couple of statements from the Public Advocate, but the report or the review in full can be found on our office's website at advocate.nyc.gov. And then the other update I want to share is that today, the public advocate released a new report called Diverse Entrepreneurial Inclusion, which assesses the city's support of minority and women-owned business enterprises. And the report examines gaps in city contracting and proposes new ways to empower minority small business owners. And it comes as some attacks on so-called DEI programs have caused many businesses to abandon diversity programs. So that is it for legislative updates. Our office, we don't have any upcoming events in the immediate future, but you can find out about upcoming events that our office is either hosting or participating in by following our Eventbrite page. And the URL for that is nycpublicadvocate.eventbrite.com. As always, any New Yorker who's facing any issues or has any concerns with city agency services can contact our office by reaching out to our email address, which is gethelp@advocate.nyc.gov, or by calling our office's constituent services hotline, which is 212-669-7250. In our office, we also do receive constituents in person who schedule an appointment. And before I take any questions, I just want to answer a question that the first vice chair, Anthony Viola, asked me in September's general board meeting. So on September 18th, the public advocate, along with other elected officials and community board members, was arrested outside of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location or field office, I believe, which is located at 26 Federal Plaza in downtown Manhattan. After protesting actions undertaken by ICE. And Anthony asked if the public advocate was planning to take any legal action in response to those arrests. In the 2+ months since that arrest occurred, he hasn't taken any legal action, and I don't believe he plans to. But with that being said, I'd love to take any questions if anyone has a question.
Any questions for Noah? Don't see any in the room. I don't see any online. All right, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, if you celebrate, as well as happy Native American Heritage Day if you celebrate that as well. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Noah. Thanks for following up on that one question. Lori Vice Cohen from Congressman Espaillat's office.
Good evening. Good evening. Ending the Republican shutdown. Republicans kept the House out of session for an unprecedented 50 days in an effort to force the Senate to accept a deal that would cost 6,500 residents of New York's 13th congressional district their access to affordable care. Representative Adriano Espaillat was proud to vote no. This vote was more than an opening of the government. It was a vote to help the most vulnerable among us. And Republicans chose tax cuts for the wealthy over everyday Americans. Legislative updates. This week, Representative Espaillat reintroduced the following bills in Congress. H.R. 6133. Jumpstart on College Act aims to expand dual enrollment and early college programs, empowering high school students in their junior and senior years to enroll in college courses and earn credits at little or no cost for themselves and their families. HR Resolution 870 honors the victims of the crash of American Airlines Flight 587 in Rockaway, Queens, New York, that occurred on November 12th, 2001. We also were very proud to participate in this year's turkey giveaways, and hundreds of turkeys were given out at various locations throughout the district. And this was done in collaboration with the Gardiner Foundation, the Inwood Food Pantry, Bailey's House, Somos, and the West Side Campaign Against Hunger. I just want to reiterate, as I do usually, that our office helps with all kinds of constituent concerns, whether it has to do with housing, with Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, SSI, and myriad other concerns, not just those things, but of course, including those things pertaining to federal agencies. And and also that we have 2 dedicated immigration specialists that work out of our Harlem office. And therefore you can feel free to refer people there. Finally, we've been very, very active in getting out Know Your Rights documents, of course, in English and Spanish, and in helping community groups that are doing amazing work in circulating this information.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Lori? I don't see any in the room, and I do not see any online. Okay, great. Thanks, Lori. Did I miss any electeds other than Porfirio?
I'm on for Councilmember De La Rosa's office.
I don't see you. Oh, okay, you're good to go. Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all. We are ending our turkey giveaway that we have at the United Palace. We gave over 1,000 turkeys, produce, drinks, more. You know, this was in collaboration with all the Uptown electeds and tons of community organizations. We understood the need this year was going to be even greater, and we wanted to target at least the food insecurity that comes around the holidays. We're still hauling turkeys into the office, so sorry that I might sound a little bit out of breath. We also have an annual toy drive that is being planned for December, so stay tuned. If you would like to reach out, collaborate, provide unopened donations, please reach out to our office. We also have a CUNY Citizenship Now event December 6th from 10 to 2 at the George Washington High School Educational Center campus. We also have a Know Your Rights training and community organizing event, partnering with Justice Committee in December as well, second week of December. So definitely check the council member's social media to make sure that you have the flyers, and the community board, of course, will also get them as well. At City Hall, we introduced a ferry pilot. I know a lot of folks on the board were excited about that. So stay tuned for more updates. We introduced it today. It might not pass this year, but the point is to start getting the conversation and the ball rolling. And street vendor bills are also moving. We know that there have been a lot of concerns about the vendors on the street. We've been working arduously all this entire legislative session to make sure that we could do a large overhaul of this antiquated system that's kept vendors in limbo. If you want more information about the legislation itself, you can visit council.nyc.gov and search our legislation tab. And I'll take any questions. Sorry if I missed anything.
Thanks, Renat. Any questions? Yes, we have one.
Any update on resident parking permits? I know that the council member has been active in that initiative. I'm just curious if there's any updates.
Did you hear that, Renat?
No, can you repeat that, please?
Sure. The question was from a board member, and it was there are updates on the residential parking permits that the council member was pushing for.
Yes, so we're gonna have to reintroduce that next session. The great thing is that other council members are actually looking to do pilots that are similar to ours. So I can imagine once the new legislative term comes up, there's gonna be a flooding of residential parking bills. So if you want to stay involved in that, please reach out to us. You know, the more we can get constituents on board and answer any questions, the easier it is for us to also pass the bill.
Thank you. Tanisha?
Hey, Frey, thank you for your report and all that you do. We're still having a problem with faith-based churches and their parking. Is there any work being done around that where, you know?
I haven't heard anything specifically about the faith-based orgs. I know a lot of churches have street parking in front of the church, but if there's a specific faith community that you're looking at, then it's possible they're either already on our list in terms of any grievances that have come into the office. If not, we're happy to look into it.
All right, thank you. We'll talk offline. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tanisha. Osi?
Yeah, thank you. Last month, the city council passed a resolution to give $500,000 to Flatbush Cats in Brooklyn for spay neuter for low-income pet owners. That's only going to serve Brooklyn residents. We currently have 0 affordable veterinarian clinics for our pets in Manhattan in general, but definitely we need it more here in Upper Manhattan. Are there any plan to have some sort of a solution for that?
Yeah, so that's not something that has come across my table specifically, but I can say that one, resolutions are more of a symbolic gesture from the council. So it's not necessarily that Brooklyn is specifically getting these resources, it's the council saying that we support Brooklyn getting these resources. There, and this is for everyone who's a community org as well, come January, the applications for the budget are open. And I think that has to be more of a budget conversation. And if there's specific veterinary organizations that you think we should look at that are considered nonprofits and can receive funding from the city, then please email those to us, because we want to make sure that we can contact these organizations who are looking for funding ahead of January, because there's only a month really to fill out the application, and we want to make sure that folks can come to the forum and get the assistance that they need for the application.
Great, thank you. Okay, seeing no more hands, we have one more hand in the back from Joanna.
Any more food distribution is coming out of this office?
Coming up this week. The question for the council member's office is if there are any other food distribution services or offerings happening over the course of the next week or in the near future.
This was our big one. If there are specific folks who need resources, let us know. I know that there's other community orgs that are also doing their own distributions. And I think that either the assembly member's office or the Congress member's office, sorry if I'm misremembering, I haven't eaten all day, might be having another one. But yeah, our office specifically, this is our major one that we do. So
Great.
we aren't planning on doing any others for the holiday season, except our toy drive in December.
Perfect. Thanks so much. And next is Porfirio Figueroa from the Manhattan Borough President's Office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Porfirio Figueroa. I'm the Deputy Director of Community Affairs for the Manhattan Borough President's Office. I wanted to say, with term limits approaching, we are happy to announce that the leadership training series is now on the Manhattan Borough President's YouTube channel. Webinars on topography, open data, and how to navigate the DOB and HPD portals as tools, and the training on archiving resolutions and board documents will be helpful to ensure institutional knowledge gets transferred to the next generation of board members. And if any of you missed our trainings, don't worry, they will be on the YouTube channel through December 31st. The Manhattan Borough President's Office held a day of service today, right here in CB12 at the West Campaign Against Hunger on 181st Street, where we boxed over 500 boxes of produce for the community. Our office kept a close watch during the recent federal shutdown to ensure constituents could receive food distribution information and updates about what the state and New York City was doing to assist with food insecurity. The Food Bank of New York's Map Finder was a great resource to anyone seeking distribution locations for support. Federal workers with low and moderate income had access through our partnership with the Hebrew Free Loan Society to apply for no-cost interest loans up to $7,500. And recently, we participated in many turkey and pepperoni giveaways across the borough, probably adding up to around 2,000. Due to the Manhattan Borough President's advocacy, EDC recently announced updated ferry routes, which will go into effect in December, with additional plans to explore further service expansions in the future. The announcement includes a plan to explore expanding ferry service to the west side of Upper Manhattan, including the piers at 125th Street. We thank all the community board members and those who weighed in on the plan over the summer. And sidewalk sheds are going to look a little different. On November 18th, the Department of Buildings released a series of new designs for sidewalk sheds that we hope will dramatically improve our streetscape and reduce the number of sheds that we see in the city. You may remember our office released the sheds in 2024, which laid out a series of policy proposals and reforms that led to the council passing important reforms. We are extremely excited by this progress, and Borough President Levine will continue to advocate for a smarter sheds policy. Finally, the Borough President recently provided testimony at an important hearing on right to counsel on legislation he proudly introduced and was able to pass into law during his time in the city council. It made New York City the first municipality in the nation to provide a lawyer to households facing eviction in housing court. The hearing provided Manhattan Borough President Levine with a firm platform to provide recommendations on how to increase the percentage of cases receiving representation by expanding the city's budget towards this effort. Please allow me to take a moment to really and extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the borough president and our office to Ebenezer Smith for his years of service. I'm sure we will miss him dearly. And this district was very, very lucky to have him here. For those of you who celebrate, wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
Any questions? Don't see any in the room, and I do not see any online. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will now go to the public session. We only have one online, so we'll take that one first, which is Diane Ashley from Isabella.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. I have some very challenging news to share, which is that we've had to make the extremely difficult decision to sell Isabella. Since MJHS acquired Isabella, we've invested more than $60 million. We're losing $6 million a year. And as a not-for-profit with our resources, we just unfortunately cannot continue to sustain that. At the point at which we made this really difficult decision, we pivoted to setting priorities for who we would sell to, and those three priorities were an organization that has extensive experience operating nursing homes in New York, have high quality ratings, and understands the important role that Isabella plays in the community. This is a lengthy process with all of the approvals that are required, so it will likely not close until early 2028. We are doing this, frankly, to ensure the sustainability and long-term availability of Isabella to the community. So I just wanted to share that. We've not signed any definitive agreement yet with the buyer, so I can't share anything in that regard, just that we've set important priorities to make sure that we find a buyer who is really going to understand how important Isabella is to this community. So very sad to share this news, but felt it was important to share with the community.
Great, thanks, Diane. I know there are probably a lot of feelings in the room. I think for the purpose of the public session, we can limit it to questions, not comments. Starting with Liz. Yeah, if you want to take it. Thank you. Sorry, come around.
What is MJHS's plan to provide services to the community at the level of quality to which we had been accustomed under its prior leadership, a level of quality which we have not seen under MJHS's leadership between now and 2028. And that is as questiony and as polite as I can make my comments. I think you can read between the lines.
We remain committed to our residents and to our staff. We will continue to, the Isabella will continue to care for members of the community over the next 2 years. We are doing this to increase investment in the physical property of the building to be able to have that be upgraded. So MJHS and the leadership of Isabella have been, since we came into the picture, have been extremely committed to Isabella and to providing quality care for our residents. And that's been a high priority. And it will continue to be a priority as we move forward.
Thanks, Diane. I see one more question in the room and then one online. We'll take those two and move on, starting with Hector, and then it will go to Anne. Hector, go ahead.
Hello, thank you for coming to our board to share this unfortunate news. My first question, or only question, is the purchaser that you guys are considering, is it also an affiliate of a nonprofit or is it a private equity firm?
I don't have the information about, there's been a lot of interest. What I will say is that we set those three priorities, but we did open it up to for-profit and not-for-profit providers. We had to do that. I don't have information about the who ultimately will be the buyer. When that information is available to me, when documents have been signed, I certainly can share and will likely come forward with the buyer to the board, but I actually don't have the information other than we opened it up to for-profit, not-for-profit providers, again, who have high quality ratings, have experience operating nursing homes in New York, and who understand the role that Isabella plays in the community.
Thanks, Diane. Is it a follow-up to that? Like a very quick clarifying question? What is the clarifying question?
My quick,
I'll
my
repeat
quick
it.
follow-up question is, are you guys open to a private equity purchasing the nursing home?
If you didn't hear it, is are you open to a private equity nursing?
I'm certainly not in a position to answer that question. I can certainly take it back. I don't know how far along they are in the process. So I can just share that information. I'm sorry, I'm not in a position to be able to respond to it.
Thank you.
All right, before we go to Anne and then Mary, and then we're gonna close out questions for you, Diane, if I could just queue up the first three in-person public speakers, which are Normandy Maria, Beatrix Martinez, and Natalie Espino. Anne Megis, if you can ask your question for Diane.
Sure. Thanks, Diane. I wonder if you can tell me, or if there's any way of predicting how this pending sale will affect the NORC at River Terrace.
I am not aware of any changes to the NORC program. So at the moment, all I can tell you is that I do not anticipate anything changing.
Before we, thank you, Diane, and thanks, Anne, for the question. I think, obviously, brand new breaking news for our board. Diane and reps at Isabella attend our Health and Environment Committee. And given that there is going to be, this is a 2-3 year process, I really encourage folks to attend regularly, keep that,
Aging.
and aging, but I'm saying health and environment and aging, sorry, they both came to mind. But basically, tune in, check on our, if you're not on the listserv, get on it. This is breaking news now, but there will continue to be updates regarding the sale through our committees. And so that's really the best space to kind of keep abreast of the news.
Thanks, Chair. Before we give Mary the floor, I mentioned your name moments ago. By queue up, I mean if you can come to the front and queue up on the wall to my left, so this way we can flow through the rest of the public session. Mary, go ahead.
My question, Diane, is will there be an opportunity for community input as to what we'd like to, see happen with Isabella and involvement in the community?
I guess the answer is that we'll introduce the different boards to the ultimate buyer, and I am sure they will provide an opportunity for the community to voice their desires and you know, I hear Liz, their concerns. And hopefully they will have the same level of concern we do and address those concerns.
Great, thank you so much, Diane. We're now gonna move on to the in-person public session, starting with Normandy Maria, speaking about mental health. You'll have 2 minutes once you begin. Sure.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you.
The mic up here. No, you're good.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity for us. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here to presenting our program. Our program is a Smart Step NYC. It's a mental health education program. It's a mental health to promote well-being, individual and the family. Our mission is to help New Yorkers to take care and recognize the signs and symptoms of mental health. Without mental health, it will be difficult to have women and men. They can provide the best of her family or perform well at work. It is necessary for we recognize the necessity of the mental health of our community. My name is Normandy Maria, and I have a master's degree in intervention psychology, and I do a community service for more than 25 years. It's my passion to helping others. And as a psychology, I would love to have the support of everybody in the community, because this is something that affecting not only the family, but also the society. Here with me, I have a mother. Our organization have one of the programs is focused in healthy mom, healthy mother, because mom is the one most likely provide support emotional to the family. And she will give you some testimony to you guys. It will be in Spanish, and I'm gonna translate it, or someone can translate it.
Did you sign up for the? What's your name? Beatrice? Okay, so then you're next.
Okay. I would like to thank you, everybody here, for your times, and I would love to have the opportunity to come in another meeting that you have. If you feel that this program will be worth it to the community, I will be more than happy to come to the meeting and respond any question that you have regarding our organization. Once again, thank you.
Before you begin.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Beatriz Martínez. Estoy muy contenta y agradecida por pertenecer a la organización Familia Saludable o Mamá Saludable. Quiero que más madres también formen parte, como yo he formado parte también de la institución que nos ayuda también. Yo soy home attendant, también con lo que he aprendido también sobrellevado para que los pacientes también aprendan de la salud mental, también de la nutrición, que es muy importante. Muchas gracias.
Okay, before Natalie comes up, if I can queue up the next 3 speakers after Natalie, which are Adrian Kahlo, Dr. Gary Altham, and Annette Aguilas. Great, thank you. Natalie, take it away.
Muy buenas noches, CB12.
Buenas noches.
You know how much I love you, but I'm here today to give you a note. I reside at 145 Vermilion Avenue, where for the last 4+ years, our lovely Callow family have been my downstairs neighbors at Galicia Tapas. So I am here to ask that you vote no on the objection, on the resolution to object to their liquor license renewal. This is a family-owned establishment that has corrected the minor health violations that they had. They will tell you more about that, but anybody who knows me knows that I don't touch doorknobs with my bare hands, and so if any of this were serious, I would not be eating there about 5 nights a week, ask Liz. That is what I will leave you with. I want to say respect to the person who lists her pronoun as queen, amazing. And Ebenezer, is he here? Okay.
On the record, so say.
That will be on the record when he comes back in and watches the YouTube. Felicidades, gracias. Muchas bendiciones y el 12 de diciembre se bebe.
Great, thank you so much. And just for the record, she was speaking to resolution number 1. Resolution number 1. Next is Adrian Paulo, who is also speaking on resolution number 1.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adrian Kahlo. Representing the family restaurant Natalie just spoke about. We've been part of the Uptown community for going on close to 40 years now. We spent 30 years at 172nd and Broadway. Now I've been at the new location on 207th Street for 6 years now. We take our liquor license responsibility very seriously, and we do everything to keep in line with that and in check. We've never had any issue with the SLA in these 40 years. We never had any issues with the 33rd or 34th precincts. And I do know there was some concern over our last preliminary inspection. We had a couple, like around a month ago. We've addressed all those issues. I think we're back in line to get the A grade when we have our next inspection. And yeah, I'm just asking you guys to please I don't know how to say it, but like to overturn that decision and be in our favor, and we got it very much.
Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Gary, speaking from GDS Group. And then you'll have 2 minutes once we have speaking.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Together we can reclaim the Heights Community Center. The time is now. It is our time. When a community board ignores its own vote on approved community space and services for youth, families, and seniors, it is not helping the people it is meant to represent. It is hurting them. CB12 is supposed to be the voice of the people, voice of the community, not a barrier to it. Now is the time to heal. Time to repair trust, move past the toxic culture that has held this community back. Good evening. My name is Dr. Gary Altheim, founder of Growth and Development Services and the director of the Community Advocacy Program. We have been advocating at this community board for more than 14 years. Community Board 12 has still not acted on a resolution it passed on May 25th, 2021. Entitled Resolution to Investigate and Make Public All Licenses for the Utilization of the Fort Washington Avenue Armory. More than 4.5 years later, there has been no public hearing, no updates, and no steps to create the Fort Washington Avenue Board of Directors that the resolution required to govern the city-owned building. This reflects a documented pattern. In 2021, the Comptroller's Office found that CB12 was not in compliance with requirements for public meetings, public hearings, and posting materials. The inaction of the Fort Washington Avenue Armory Resolution continues that pattern. More than 685 individuals have signed a petition for change, calling for transparency and action at change.org/reclaim Armory 168. For over 30 years, the community has waited the Armory to become the community center that it was promised to be. The time for healing is now. Please have a public hearing and move forward with the resolution. The Armory is a city-owned building that has many rooms that sit empty. Our community cannot heal when leaders and public officials remain willfully blind. I know that some
That
of
is
you
your
are going
time.
to take action to help our community. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'm just gonna queue up the last public speaker while we're at it, Anita Nichols from the New York Public Library, so you don't mind queuing up over on my left. Next is Annette Aguilar, speaking about resolution 1.
Hi, good evening. Hi, my name is Annette A. Aguilar, and longtime resident of Washington Heights and Wood, like 35 years. And I'm here in support of the Leaves of the Campus. In my experience as a professional musician, I played there in 2010 when they were in Washington Heights. And there are groups very picky about certain places, but I noticed just the familiarity of like the family continuity and the support they give to the neighborhood. And then when they moved to Inwood, it's probably one of the only places where you can really have a conversation and eat homegrown food. I mean, well, homemade, and great prices on Spanish wines. And I'm really in question in terms of, I'm diddling Natalie what she said in terms of in support of them. So I don't really understand why this objection had came first. So just to correct me, whatever, but I haven't been here for a while, but but just, I hope that people will take a look at certain places in our neighborhood that are very vital to our neighborhood and very important. So these are kind of treasures. So let's support the treasures in the neighborhood. And I thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving and a big shout out to Ebenezer on his retirement.
Great, thank you. And the last public speaker then is Danita Nichols from the New York Public Libraries.
Everyone. You know what? Let me do that so I can stand out here because I got something show and tell. Good evening, everyone. And I am here, Danita Nichols, representing the 3 public libraries in Upper Manhattan. One thing that I put on the table for everyone is we are already to holiday hours. So starting tomorrow, we close early. We're closed 3 days this week, and this gives advance notice of the holiday hours through December. And they're on the table, and I can hand them out too. But the biggest news that some of you may have heard is that this past week, we have our best books list for all ages came out. It's the next read for just about everybody. We have books in Spanish for children, including one called Es Neo, which is like a cry of every 3-year-old in any language everywhere. And books for children from babies on up to through elementary school. One that I need to get a hold of and look at is called A Place for Us. The story follows a mother and son throughout the day, school, McDonald's, library to do homework until they're making their beds in the park, on the bench in the park. Wordless book, it says. And the main thing you feel from it is the love of the mother and son. So you're definitely getting a hold of that one. All the way up to, and then there's a graphic novel that's called Cabin Head and Tree Head. And that's what's on their heads. I don't know, but our comic book club that we have every week loves those things. So that's the kids' ones. Teens includes one called Ban This, which is a true story of how a school bought 2 book bans. I don't know, I can't tell you about the adult books because I talk too much, but you can go get them. I have them that I can hand out to.
Thanks for that. Before we move on, we do have our parliamentarian wants to make a quick refresh on how our voting would work in the series of an objection, particularly because we had 3 public speakers speak about resolution 1.
Thank you.
Somebody else.
Can you hear me? Yes. Normally, and this is mainly directed at board members, but parliamentary procedure, I personally think is very interesting. Normally, when a resolution doesn't pass, well, let's put it the other way. When we pass resolutions, we're basically making statements to the rest of the world. When a resolution doesn't pass, that statement doesn't get made. That's how most resolutions work. Now, we do something differently with the licensing committee. So, and we actually passed a resolution to this effect, which you can find it. What we do there is if you vote against a resolution, it doesn't disappear, it changes its sense. So if the licensing committee hypothetically approved of something and this board votes against the resolution, it automatically turns into a resolution in opposition, but it works both ways. So the simplest way, if this is what the board wants to do with one of the establishments we heard about tonight, if you vote against the resolution, which now says that we don't want the license to be given, it will automatically flip. So that's the simplest parliamentary way of doing that. Got it? Richard, you have something to say?
The question that came up in a little different context last month. But if there were a considerable number of people who saw this different from the committee recommendation, would one of our options be to refer this back to committee?
That is always an option, right? But keep in mind that this flipping thing only works for resolutions by the licensing committee in terms of licensing. It may well be at some point in the future that our cannabis, groups may do the same thing, but right now it only applies to that one class of resolutions. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna ask now Erwin and members of the nominating committee to come on down. Just cause the space and all that, you guys can sit here, but.
We give a round of applause for them in advance.
Yeah.
It's fun. Oh my God, you've been booted from your table.
So Erwin is passing out some key info.
Yeah, you have all this. You're taking notes.
So you might have met them or not even met them, heard them on the phone for the first time. So if nominating committee folks, if you can just introduce yourselves with your name, and then I'm gonna pass it off to Erwin to take us through the next ideally 15 tops minutes. So we'll see.
Hi, Fujimura. It's great to be on the committee this time. It's Simon. Also nice to be on the committee and nice to speak to the 5 of you that I spoke to. I'll be up there.
Hey, Erwin. Yeah. Right.
Hello, everyone. Erwin Fernandez. Nominating committee. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Do I have everyone's attention?
Yes.
Good. So yeah, so we're gonna be presenting the results of like what we went through regarding the nominating process. First of all, I want to start off by thanking the team, Peyton, Taj,
Lisette, and Dee. It was definitely a great project. I've been doing this for 2 years and I love it a lot. And it's an important step for the community board. So thank you all very much for doing this. Alright, so I'll explain the process a little bit. Essentially what we do is we receive the attendance records and records in general from board members, from the board. And then we determine which members are eligible to run for the board, for board officers. Requirements are essentially you have to attend 2/3 of the general board meetings, 2/3 of each of your respective committee meetings. Demonstrate punctuality and stay for at least half the meeting, and also you must be a board member for at least 1 calendar year. So those are the 4 requirements. And then based on that, we determine who's eligible to run for the upcoming year as a board officer. We then reach out to all the board members who are eligible. We have to determine are eligible. And that's where our great team did all the work, reached out to everyone to see who's interested. And once we see who's interested, we jot that down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I'll go position by position, listing people who are interested. I'll start off with treasurer. At the moment, there were no one expressed interest for the treasurer position. Second, assistant secretary. No one expressed interest either. Next, secretary.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
We have Alexis Marnell, who has expressed interest.
Yes.
We have for the next position, second vice chairperson, Tanisha Grant, who has expressed interest. He was an internal effective vice chairperson. For first vice chairperson, Leo Jimenez has expressed interest. And for chairperson this year, Anthony Viola has expressed interest. So now, I'm gonna open up the floor for floor nominations. I have a couple rules I'm gonna go over. Floor nominations do not need to be seconded. You cannot nominate yourself. So just in case you were thinking about that, add it. You may nominate someone who is not present. They have until December 8th, 15 days before our next general board meeting, which is December 23rd, to decide whether.
Yeah, I don't know, there was a.
Okay, so December 1st. So you have until December, they have, whoever that is, has until December 1st to decide whether they want to accept or decline that nomination. And lastly, we will also be taking nominations for the open positions. And by the way, anyone can run for these positions despite that someone else has expressed interest. So they're open completely. And for the vacant positions, also December 1st. So I'll open it up. Does anyone?
The requirements remain in effect though, attendance requirement.
100%.
And all that.
So that's where the.
Nominating. Meet the requirement.
Thanks. So that's where the papers that we handed out, yes.
Let me just mention one other thing. It's about the election, but basically, there's only one person running. They need a majority of the votes anyway. It's not like it was in a certain country somewhere where, there was one candidate and there it was. So hypothetically, and knowing the list of people I've heard and any additional people I'm going to hear of, maybe, that won't be the case. But if hypothetically this group didn't want someone who was nominated, you could vote against them and they would not get the office. So that's important to people.
Thank you for that clarification. I also want to step back to a couple more thank yous. I need to get this one out. I want to thank Kathy for helping me out. I really appreciate that. I also want to thank Carmen Paulino, who did a great job last year. And I kind of just took everything she did and ran with it. And Leo for helping her, because I remember she mentioned that Leo helped out. So anyone who was a part of that Thank you very much, because I kind of we all just grabbed it and ran. So yeah, now back to opening up to the floor to nominate for people. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question to the chair. I believe I've had a good attendance record and would appreciate the opportunity to review attendance records further, not being on this list.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, so I would suggest the office is closed Thursday and Friday. This first is on Tuesday.
Yes.
So if you can shoot an email tomorrow at the latest, the first is Monday? Okay, I would say if you shoot an email tomorrow, the latest, I think you guys have the meetings.
I have.
Or the account. Yeah, I would say, you know what, Richard, if you can talk to Ty on the side and he can show you what they have.
Ty.
Ty,
Okay.
he's coming to you, and if there's a discrepancy, you were there, even though, and you were marked absent, that can be addressed. Yeah, but the rest. Yes.
And then, can I say something? Sorry. And then also continue with that, we also have to fine tune what it means to be present, because just because you come in an hour late to a meeting, does that constitute being present in a meeting? Excessive tardiness.
I mean, that is, so I was working, I think it's something we should define and we should 100% clarify. Probably something moving forward. Because once the board attendance records get to me, that's already been decided. So, but I think it's a valid thing. Excellent question, excellent point. Anyone else has any other questions? Yes, Leo.
I want to nominate.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to the nominations. I'm gonna go position by position. I'll start off with treasurer. Yes.
Nominate Heidi Guzman.
Oh, she is, okay, great, yes.
I'm on the list. Thank you.
So you have till December 1st to accept or decline.
For treasurer?
Yes. Okay. Does anyone else want to nominate someone else for treasurer? Going once, going twice. We're closing that one out. Good to go. Okay. Moving on to assistant secretary. Does anyone want to nominate a board member for assistant secretary? Yes.
I'd like to nominate Liv Ritter.
God help me, I
second that nomination.
I accept.
Okay.
No.
Does anyone else want to nominate another board member for assistant secretary?
Absent.
Anyone? No? Once, twice? Okay, gone. Secretary, does anyone want to nominate a board member for secretary? Yes, but if someone else can run.
Oh, somebody else.
Yeah, if they want to run, yes. Yeah. All right, so I'm closing out secretary. Would anyone like to nominate someone for second vice chair? Can everyone online hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right. Second vice chair going once, going twice.
Very nice, thank you.
Just a point to clarify something. So after tonight, there cannot be any more nominations if there has already been either a nomination or someone has expressed interest. However, if the position is vacant, which we don't have any, so just a rule for us to know for the future. That vacant position, someone can nominate someone, another board member for that vacant position up until 15 days before the next board meeting. Our next board meeting is gonna be December 16th, so for us, that would be December 1st.
Erwin,
Yes,
me correct you.
please.
Almost right. If a office has no one running for it, there can be nominations at the night of the election.
Mhm.
But other than that, all the nominations have to be done tonight.
I would say if there's somebody that's gonna nominate them, then we can. We can address the other.
Yeah, we will vote next general board meeting.
Okay, so, yeah,
You can step up.
yeah. So I would say for any member who disputes the attendance record, please just email the office and email your committee chairs regarding the attendance on whatever, dates we have wrong. And then we'll get that corrected. And then if you wish to be nominated or are interested in being nominated for a position, so just let someone know and they can nominate you. And we have time to add more folks.
And please CC Alexis.
CC Alexis.
Everyone understand that?
Okay, got it.
All right, we're moving to first vice chairperson now. Does anyone want to nominate a board member for first vice chairperson? Going once, going twice, all right. Okay. And finally, for chairperson, does anyone want to nominate a board member for chairperson? All right, so that closes chairperson out. All right, so I'll do a quick summary of the nominating committee, I guess the results for tonight. For treasurer, Heidi Guzman has been nominated at the floor. For assistant secretary, Liz Ritter has been nominated at the floor
And accept.
and accepts.
Did Heidi?
As treasurer.
He's thinking.
Thank you.
Would you like to accept it?
Inquiring minds would like to know where I can seek information about what that means,
Well,
what the
or it's
position
the final.
entails.
I can talk to you on the side.
Great.
Gotcha.
And for those now, as those who have expressed interest and no one else has expressed interest in these positions, for secretary Alexis Mornell, second vice chairperson Tanisha Grant, first vice chairperson Leo Jimenez, and chairperson Anthony Viola. Okay, that's all right. Well, thank you very much, everyone.
All right, we're back. So we're gonna go on to results and committee items. I'm actually gonna have our author this was an executive committee reviewed packet. I wanna say May or June. May or June, it's on the drafts, with the original drafts. So I'm gonna have Anthony share just some background on this. And I think I wanna keep it to maybe about, I know it says up to 10 minutes, but I wanna be mindful of maybe 5, and then we'll check if there's additional questions on it.
Thanks, Chair. Yes, so back in May, we voted as an executive committee to pass a set of procedures that outline what the expectations are for each of our elected officers. What that essentially did was it did not add any new standards that aren't already in the bylaws. As many of you know, we revised the bylaws earlier this year. But what it did do is it took the bullet points out of the bylaws that outlined each of the elected officers' responsibilities and then established best practices underneath each of those bullets for how the elected officers should meet those expectations. We did share these after the executive committee voted on them back in May. It was the opinion of the executive committee then to give folks the summer to provide feedback. We extended that time. I believe it was shared over email a couple of times since they were passed by the executive committee. I have up until this point not received any substantive feedback on any of those procedures. So tonight, in November, we would be voting to pass them. The goal moving forward, because procedures get updated, would be that they would live with the executive committee to make non-substantive updates, perhaps to language, or the way that we phrase certain things. But ultimately, I think the goal for this really was, I guess, kind of to Heidi's point, right? What are the expectations of each of our elected officers and how do they meet them? And it'll be on our website. So for future potential elected officers, they'll be able to go, double click, and see what, if they decide to run or become an elected officer, would be expected of them over the course of their term. Any questions on those procedures and what we are voting on tonight? I don't see any in the room. And I don't see any online. Thank you.
Great work, Anthony. There's a lot of
All right, and we're gonna pass it over to Leo for Resol B, from Traffic and Transportation.
Good evening, everyone. Bring a resolution to the table. As Ebenezer mentioned that at October general board meeting, he had a walkthrough, a site visit with DOT around the Washington Bridge. Obviously, if you guys traverse the area, it's pretty hectic, a lot of bottleneck traffic, congestion all the way down to 175th Street up to 187th. So Ebenezer had a meeting with DOT on the site. They determined that plausibly they can add a right turn lane going south on the I-95 entrance towards the George Washington Bridge. That would require us to take two parkings, as you see on the reso. In the area, there's not much parking on that side, which would be the northeast side of Amsterdam Avenue, 180th Street, West 180th Street. The only thing we added to the reso, and this was brought up by a couple of board members and a few of our public attendees, was that the Washington Bridge, when they did the recent upgrades, they set it up so that our biking community of cyclists can navigate it with safety. But once you get off the bridge, there is no direction for our cyclists. So we included on the reso that we would like DOT to, in the future, near future, when they make these changes, really consider installing protected bike lanes in this area just to appease everyone, right? At the end of the day, we want to allow for traffic flow, but we also want to keep it safe for pedestrians and cyclists. Any questions? Yeah, what?
You refer to Amsterdam Avenue at 180th. Is that the block from 180th to 181st on the east side?
Yes.
No, I get it.
It's right before the entrance onto
Yeah.
the I-95 South. Usually it's about, on Google Maps, if you take a look at it, it shows 3 parking, one of the cars is legally parked. It's 2 parkings, so we would be removing 2 parkings to add that right turn in, just to kind of have easier traffic flow. Yes,
But were you saying that if you turn right, you're going to the GW Bridge?
it's the entrance of the I-95 South towards the bridge. You can take that to go to the bridge or go to the I-95 South.
So it circles around?
Yeah, it has like 2 ends. You can go towards the bridge or you can go down that.
I drive. I park on the street. I thank you. This is a great idea. I hope everybody sees it.
Shout out to Ebenezer, that was one of his last wishes, so glad we were able to pass it in the committee. Any other questions? Okay, just 2 things, if you don't mind. We will have a committee meeting on Monday, the 1st. The team will come to talk about their proposed plan for Riverside Drive and West 165th Street. I encourage everyone to attend and provide their opinions. I have already done so through a pre-meeting. So if you guys have any interest, and we had a reso, or they came previously to the board and we opposed the reso. So this is their way of coming back so that we can take a look as they took some of our concerns and implemented on the new proposal. That's 1, 2, and I'm sure Kathy mentioned it, but we're hopefully pushing to do a Tory Drive as a community board. So please, if you guys are interested, bring choice to your committee or to the office. I think we'll be collecting to hold the next general board meeting. And we're looking to partner with community organizations. So if you guys have any recommendations, we're open to that as well. Thank you.
Okay, great, thanks. And then Cedar Medina, our Chair of Licensing, has a number of resolutions for us as well.
Thank you so much, Anthony. First, quick note on the minutes. Please, go to, the last page and, there's a typo there where it says that the resolutions were withdrawn for the month of, December. Obviously, those resolutions were withdrawn for the month of November. So thank you so much, Lisa, for the heads up. Other notes, please note some of the comments that you have heard about agenda item number 1. But let me just say that the committee, the way that we work is that sometimes we go on automatic. And sometimes we don't think too much about how each member is going to vote. So on that note, sometimes that suffices. I must say that if you check on all the resolutions, the last resolutions that you see, and I'll name them. 10, 11, and 12, they were objected to it because there was no one present for those establishments. And they were requesting an all-night permit. When you have an all-night permit on the 31st, obviously we would like to ask questions about when the establishment is going to stay open until. Since none of them were there, the committee proceeded to object to approve those agenda items. Also, going back to agenda item 1 and 2, you see that the committee objected to those resolutions. Mostly have to do with questions about health inspections. We know for a fact that those of you that have been here for a long while, at least myself, we can remember how we supported Galicia back in, I think it was 2017, 2016, when they were at West 172nd Street. So I recall that there were protests, I was there, Liz and many others were there. And that was to support because this is an iconic restaurant that has hired consistently from our community. And obviously they never had a problem, to be honest with you. These are like really great examples of great restaurants that we have out in the neighborhood. However, when the issues became about the health inspections, it was not very clear to some members that the issues had been rectified. And when it came out to voting, right, we went to voting procedure. And as you all know, we don't ask why you're voting no. That's a no-no. But it was surprising that at least in 2 of them, the vote, at least in Galicia, was 3 in favor, 3 against, and 1 abstention. Right after we closed the session, we started receiving emails. I have received tons of emails in support of Galicia. And also, we have received that they have actually rectified the problems that had to do with the inspections, where they actually have received A, right? And that happened for both agenda item number 1 and also agenda item number 3. So I will highly recommend that for both Havana Heights and also Galicia, that you guys vote against it. That'll be a double negative, which will make it a positive. So by you, if you want to support Galicia, and maybe Jimbalin can clarify, make a mistake. If you vote no on those items, you actually voting yes as committee members and general board members as well. So that's the explanation for both agenda items. And I hope that you do understand that, you know, sometimes we do have questions. If those questions are not answered at the committee level, that's what we're here for as a committee board. We vote and rectify whatever we have to rectify. Liz.
So 2 things, one really quick, you had said before, issues with number 1 and number 2, and Havana Heights is actually number 3, not number 2.
Wow.
But In terms of Galicia, I used to sit on the licensing committee. I know how much work it is. I respect and appreciate you, your leadership, the committee's work, and I really hate to vote no. But rather than taking your advice and voting no on Reso 1, we now have, much as happened last month, we now have evidence that the applicant has rectified the Board of Health as evidenced by their now A rating from the Department of Health. So I respectfully would offer an amendment to the resolution on the floor that it be changed to a resolution of no objection and that a whereas be added that says, whereas subsequent to their presentation at the meeting of whatever the date was, the City of New York Department of Health has issued an A rating and blah, blah, blah. I can give you some better wording that doesn't include blah, 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 because that's not very lawyerly.
If we go through that process, I'd like you to send those words,
I can do
so I
that.
can amend it.
Is there a second?
No, but before we go there, Jim,
Point of order.
Jim, before I go there, I'm sorry. This process to be applied to agenda item 1 and 3. If it's
Oh, 3 also got?
Yes.
Well, then yes, I would move that in light of this new information from the city, that we change those 2 resolutions to be resolutions of no objection. Because the committee record shows that the objection was the health inspections, and we have subsequent information from that agency that those things have been satisfied and rectified.
All right, Jim?
It turns out there's a complication there, based upon my recollection, that amendments cannot reverse the sense of resolutions.
Friendly amendments can't.
Well,
This isn't a friendly amendment.
no,
This is an
amendments
amendment.
cannot at all. Now, that, what we can certainly take your advice, but what we would have to do is rescind these 2 things and put the reverse ones in place, which is more complicated, but I agree that there's something much more aesthetic in what Liz is proposing, so I have no problem with that. But as I understand it, we would have to.
Point of information.
Sorry, I did see a hand before you, Liz, so now we'll have this one for Luana, first. Luana.
So with the understanding of what's happening, how is Liz's recommendation if taken differ from just voting no on the resolution?
I think that for the language, when we write the resolution, it might be clearer if we follow what Liz is saying, because it will state what has transcended. Whereas if we vote directly as a no, it might not say what we really want to say in the resolution. Steve, then
I would like to try to get around Jim's interpretation of the rules. I would suggest that we take Liz's language, change the resolution and offer it as a substitute resolution. We're not amending the existing resolution. We're introducing a substitute resolution, which would indicate that we support the application.
Thank you, Steve.
Does that work for you?
And what?
Yep.
I'm a little confused, but there was people that voted no on the resolution, so. Why, like, that's basically me saying that as a chair, I could come up here, say, hey, some of my members voted no on it because some people feel. All I'm saying is, wouldn't it be easier to just vote no with that South Alamo vote and do it that way? As opposed to, because I've never seen this, I know some of y'all been here for 100 years, but I've never seen that happen here while I'm in here.
Domingo, I agree with you.
sorry,
Anthony,
Anthony,
and then me.
and the chair.
So I concur with that. I think the difference between when we flip a recommendation is those are related to stipulations that the committee itself passed, right? We don't have a stipulation in this resolution stating that if they present an A rating sometime between the committee meeting and the general board, that we would flip the recommendation. But I think in order to do what they're saying, it's not just passing another resolution, but we also have to have on the record that we vote for rescind the first one. Because otherwise, how are we rescinding it with there being a committee vote that is very clear
Because
that
there,
the committee.
because there
No,
was
thank you.
language.
Please, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
Chair, then Liz.
No back and forth, but no, not just the chair, but no back and forth. I feel like we're getting a little hung up. I think generally we always say it's no, and it becomes a positive. At the end of the day, the resol that is sent to SLA and the results that are sent out publicly, period, are the ones from tonight. And so I think that we can draft a resolution, you know, and this is something that the office does, that reflects, for example, tonight's vote. Period. Like historically, yes, we include the committee one and we reference the committee one, but ultimately what we're saying is including the language of the discussion, the new information, and it's tonight's resol that gets drafted and sent. Or sorry, tonight, what am I trying to say?
Sentiment.
The board resol, wait, no, let me shut up.
Chair,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I can get Liz's recommendation, it's an amendment. Even if it's a no, and then have that in the resolution when it gets approved.
Yeah.
So in essence, we have a friendly amendment that can be incorporated into the regional resolution. Once it's voted against it, like you voted no to approve, that will still be reversing the objection to an objection with the amendment.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to explain is that the language, and I've seen this through other boards, everybody has different practices across boards. Ultimately, we fine tune, or the office fine tunes our resos to go into a letter format. So there's an introduction with context. So what I'm saying is that in the process of sending it to the SLA, we can just clarify that the full board voted in whatever the board vote tally becomes, and massage, if you will, the fact that that new information was incorporated that reversed the committee's recommendation. I don't think that we need to go into 5 whereases about this reversal process, but I think it's just that we add language and that's something we review that makes it clear and not like a whole negative thing and a whole uproar, or not uproar, but a whole discussion.
Let me just, I've basically been concurring with most people. Internally, the simplest thing is just to vote no. But the outside world, I mean, they can hear this discussion, it's public. But the letter that's gonna go out will be as though we voted in favor of the thing, and Liz's addition about the A rating can be added to that letter, which is basically the gist of what Kathy said. It's certainly much simpler.
So for clarification,
I'm sorry, first Steve and Leo.
I wanna know, is the resolution gonna still have this final resolve clause that says that Community Board 12 objects to the SLA reviewing the
No, it turns into the word approved.
What's that?
It turns into the word approved.
Will it say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course it will say that, because we passed a resolution years ago to create just that procedure.
Well, my understanding is that we simply add an opening paragraph that says that the board voted against the following resolution and the wording remains the same.
No. We will find you the resolution.
Can I get an answer from Kathy?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we have the we don't have to do it that way because it's a letter format.
We don't have to do it which way?
That we don't have to say at the top of the letter that we voted against it. We can just vote, we can just tell them that it is affirmative for those 2 resolutions.
And so the final resolves will be changed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So the letter, so like the discussion is on YouTube, the minutes reflect tonight's discussion. The letter that is sent to SLA and the email and the processes for SLA will reflect the actual vote.
Let's go back to
And
our
positive
players first.
So for clarification, we will vote no against the current
recommendation.
if you wish.
If you wish.
Yeah, the SLA doesn't look at the committee vote, it only looks at what we're doing.
It only looks at what we send.
Yeah.
Let's
To be clear, Steve, we have a very old standing resolution that we passed that in the event that an objection to an SLA application fails, the resolution automatically becomes an approval with the relevant language in the be it resolved clause, changing it from an objection to an approval, all of which is a long way of saying, yes, Steve, the language that will go in the letter is that what got approved is that we approved it because we rejected the rejection.
And it works both
Yes, we
ways.
have no bananas.
But and as I pointed out, it works both ways. So either way, the resolution gets flipped. And as Liz pointed out, because she basically said everything I was gonna say, we already have a resolution in our procedures that does that. Maybe that Steve doesn't remember, but it did, and we will actually find it, and it actually should be on the website. But it isn't, it is, probably is.
Now we go back to 2010 on air.
No, 2019.
Then no.
So based on the facts I presented to the board, I would strongly recommend that you vote no on agenda items 1 and 3, because that will turn them into positives. That will be the general understanding that, and as a chair, I'm just recommending that you vote strongly based on the facts. No on agenda item 1 and 3 once again. One question, please.
Okay, so 2 questions on the substance of the matter. Has Galicia gotten re-inspected and gotten an A?
I stated that they submitted A grade that they received.
Okay, got it. Since October 21st.
Since like last week.
Last week, okay, great. Second is, are you recommending, I'll actually skip that because that's good enough, that works.
Thank you. None? Steve,
Okay, I've got questions on a couple of them and a suggested amendment for the last 3. Number 5, I'm a little confused as to what our position is. The minutes appear to say that we objected to what it is, Solento, but the agenda says it's a resolution of no objection, which is okay by me, but so is it a resolution of no objection?
Agenda item number 5.
And then it refers to some incident that occurred and where they were fined $1,000. Can you elaborate on what that was?
So the minutes are correct. It is a resolution of objection. So thank you for bringing that up.
And the reason for that is because there
was an issue where PD was called in for a matter that was a fight amongst family members that owned the establishment. As a result of that, that was sent to court. The court sent the report to SLA. SLA provided them a summons of $1,000. When we were at the meeting, there were a lot of back and forth within the family. So I'm sure that some members like myself, I didn't feel comfortable in approving something that was not very clear as far as like the summons concerned.
But meanwhile, the precinct is okay with this application.
They're okay, but the committee is not okay. Based on what was informed or what was told by the owners to the committee members.
I believe this restaurant has an excellent citywide reputation. I've seen it written up in various magazines. On number 8, I'm a little confused about this fish market. The minutes indicate that they operated a restaurant from 2016 to 24, but they have since sold it. So is there no more?
Which warehouse are you referring to?
No, number 8?
Yeah. Which warehouse?
Vegano.
The Vegano?
Right, which warehouse are we?
I'm looking in the minutes.
Oh, the minutes.
So is it's number 11 in the minutes, and
I'm going to let maybe Hector refresh the committee's memory on this because I actually.
so I'm confused. If they no longer have a restaurant, I'm wondering what the license is for.
I'm sorry, what says they no longer have a restaurant?
That's in the minutes.
Referencing number 11 of the minutes.
It says they no longer have a restaurant.
It's in number 8.
So it could be,
Restaurant wine license.
it's a typo. That should be omitted, Steve.
So it is, they still have a restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and let me just suggest,
wait, sorry, Steve, can I clarify? If you're referring to the sentence that says from 2016 to 2024, they operated a restaurant which they have since sold.
Yeah.
They is referring to the owner operating a separate restaurant other than what we were considering that night.
other than this one.
Yeah,
To show experience.
All right.
yes, we ask about experience for new.
Okay, all right, that was unclear to me. Okay, in the last three resolutions, it seemed to me that one of the reasons you might not have voted is because the precinct, the 34th precinct said that they were gonna come back to you in December with their recommendations on these all night
Those were for those agenda items that were withdrawn. So there were at least 5 agenda items that were withdrawn that were not part of the resolutions because they were withdrawn. Those that were there and no one showed up, regardless of what the person said, it is the policy of the committee to practically object to anyone application that doesn't have an ownership and or a representative.
Did they give you recommendations on those last three?
No.
I would suggest that you add to your resolution and make it stronger by adding a whereas that says that the 34th precinct said that they were not prepared at this time to offer recommendations on these applications and were planning to come back to the December meeting to do so.
I would add that's a friendly amendment about 34 precinct with the comment that you stated.
Indiana.
Indiana and Dennis. Jake, I'm sorry.
Should
Yeah, go on then, Indiana.
I think it'll be about.
Sorry.
Sorry, what's that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, my question was just about the last 3 as well, because I was really surprised to see that they were all objections. So I went and watched the recording of the meeting because I understand the way your committee operates and appreciate the work that you all do. I wonder if the principle of rejecting applications when people are in attendance, I wonder if the spirit of that is getting in the way of what is intended here. Usually I think that you do that to hear from the community members, but not being familiar with this kind of permit, I went and looked back to last year to see what had been done, and I saw that Lobster Steakhouse was granted this permit. So unless something significant has changed that you've heard otherwise that we shouldn't do this, I feel like I can't support the objection just because those people weren't there. So were there other concerns beyond them being there, or was it just that?
I think that has to be on a case-by-case basis. The one that you just mentioned. If they have come to a committee, I myself, as a member of the license committee, I think I would object to that permit because they have an enclosure that it's not up to code. And that's the reason why we asked that each merchant representative come to the table, they can answer those questions. And if those questions are not answered, I myself will vote to reject them.
Can I add to that?
Please.
Because I think the principal reason, and you may have saw this in the meeting, was because the 34th could not provide what they wanted to see from the establishments on that night. And we looked to them, given the previous safety issues that have happened at certain establishments, particularly in Inwood, on New Year's Eve. And so because they couldn't put a game plan in before us, we had no way to say to the owner, do you want to withdraw and come back next month once we can give you the principles that the 34th precinct wanted to give in that case?
Thank you.
I think that we have Indiana come back to this.
Thank you. One quick clarifying question. Salento is, somebody said it was number 5, but I've got it as number 6 on the agenda. So I just wanted to clarify that for when we vote. And then the thing I wanted to talk about was Salento. The SLA fine that's referenced there, the $1,000 fine, is that related to the incident, the argument that happened? Because, okay. Well, can you like elaborate a little bit on what that fine is for? Because I can't imagine that there have not been other incidents at some of the restaurants and establishments that we approve, right? Like this happens to be on our radar, but I can't imagine that some of the other places haven't had staff have arguments or, have incidents there. So I'm not sure that that's a fair thing to bring into consideration for purposes of licensing, and just would like to learn a little bit more, please.
Based on the arguments that was taking place, I don't know if you saw the video. There was some back and forth with the owners, and they were speaking in Spanish, and some of us were able to grab some issues that were not clear to the committee.
Yeah.
Feel like the committee didn't feel comfortable in approving a resolution where the family themselves are fighting an establishment and then getting a summon from PD, from the SLA. So there was something serious that happened there. They did not elaborate a lot, but based on how we voted, I can assume that the committee members didn't feel comfortable with the response that we got on this argument.
Yeah, the only other thing I would add is prior to this licensing committee meeting, we've always been able to go to the SLA's website and submit a public query about why an establishment received a certain violation. Between October and November, for whatever reason, SLA decided to decommission their public query site. So at the meeting, we had no way to look up the establishment and see what the violation was for. So we were relying on the owner to tell us, but they weren't able to convey in detail what it was for. That I think that's at least why I voted that one down.
Okay, sorry, just as a follow-up, who took the video? I didn't see it, but how did we get that video? Who took it?
No, there's no video. I'm saying that while we were watching at
Oh, the video of the meeting, got it.
it was a little bit skeptics. I think that we were very skeptical about what was going on there.
Okay, I would just say, and I'm not sure if this is the right place, but I encourage the board to really think hard about this because I'm certain that some of the other establishments that we have approved have had physical fights, or I mean, I don't know if it was an argument, if there was physical fights involved or whatever it is, right? So I'm a little bit, I don't know, I'm uncomfortable voting no just based on that incident, right? Like I think that we should focus on things like the noise range and cleanliness and complying with other requirements. But I just am a little uncomfortable voting no on an incident that like we have on video this time, but like it's clearly, I don't think it's like directly related to licensing, right? And there can be this kind of issue in other businesses and it just isn't on our radar. So I think it's a little unfair to, if that's the sole reason, I think it's unfair to deny the license. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Liz had her hand on.
And then I'll follow like Luana.
I have my hand in the next.
Yes.
I totally get that this was a chaotic moment in the licensing committee and I'm not sure I even want to know what this beef was that resulted in the $1,000 fine from the SLA. I can tell you that everything Salento has is delicious and my scale proves it. They are clean, they are kind, they are welcoming, they sweep the streets, they are generous, a generous business in the community that works with other businesses, and there are no other noise complaints. And I don't think they have liquor, but their baked goods are the bomb.com. So I would encourage everybody to vote no with all respect and appreciation for the work of the committee.
And so Liz was an old hand from the first go out. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes to 9. It's 5 minutes to 9. And so unless folks, there's like 5 more hands. So is there a new point, question or something so we can keep going because we got more?
Just clarification, it does say no objection for Salento.
That's a
Here.
typo.
So that is correct, right? Or
It's a typo. It should be an objection.
it should be an objection. Okay, got it. Thank you for that.
So if we vote no, there it turns into a yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have it as number 5.
It is number 5.
It is number 5.
Well, thank you so much.
Number 5 is an objection, but vote no.
Alright, that's important to recap. Let's just be, so folks, we're gonna go based off of agenda numbers tonight, right, for our roll call. So to be clear, resolution number 5 is a resolution of no objection. Sorry, it says no objection, but it is supposed to be an objection. So put a big X on that no. So know that when you vote yes or no, what it means. So resolution of objection, and then we had a very lengthy discussion about number 1 and number 3, based on what you feel. Are there any other questions about our letter items A and B or 1 through 12?
Come back here, please.
Yes, or 12.
When you just clarified how we might vote on the numbered resolutions. I thought number 2 was part of that discussion as well.
No, 3, 1 and 3.
1, 3.
He missed.
1 and 3. So number 1 is Galicia Tapas, number 3 is Savannah Heights.
And number 5 is clarified in what way?
In that it is a resolution of objection on tonight before us, it was a typo.
So that those of us say who think as Liz Ritter just commented, it would be appropriate to vote no there.
All right.
If you wish to do so.
Yes.
And Deanna, question?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify again on 1 and 3. For those who voted to not support, or the reason that like the committee didn't support this, are we clear that the only reason was that they were missing this permit? Or like, if not, then I encourage like any of the committee members to raise what it was that led them to vote no. I just don't want to assume that that was the only reason that they didn't get the support of the committee.
That what we just discussed in detail?
Yeah.
It was the only.
It was the only.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put the hands down so we don't get confused, and then I'm also just going to open up,
Where'd it go?
Oh, now grab it.
see all my next. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Darryl, we can open it.
Okay. Obviously, I'm filling in for Alexis, so please be kind.
Quick thing, a point of personal privilege. I know that Alexis is not here and we all know how she feels about roll call. But I just want to emphasize that before jumping in and having people say what's a conflict of interest, please state your conflict of interest.
Please don't vote for others.
That is.
And also please state, I vote yes, I have a conflict of interest, and you stay quiet. You must state the conflict of interest.
Yes.
And don't jump in and ask what is the conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you don't get to vote.
And I would also say, when people say yes to the rest, that should be the last thing you say, right?
Right.
Meaning, don't say yes to what, you know.
Okay, you don't get to explain your vote.
Okay. So, and forgive me if I mispronounce some names, let's see, Jermina?
No to 1, 3, 5, 10, 11, and 12. Yes to the rest.
Richard Allman?
No to numbers 1, 3, and 5. Yes to the rest and no further comments.
That was a further. Then take it back.
Mary Anderson?
Yeah, she's online.
She's online.
Oh, sure.
Mary? Mary, are you ready to vote?
Let's get back. Please come back to just a moment.
She's trying to unmute y'all.
He's learning.
Oh, yeah.
But it worked.
We'll come back to you, Mary. Jay Bias?
No to 1, 3, and 5, and yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, and 5, and yes to the rest. Jay Cabanas?
No to 1, 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, and yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, 5, 10 through 12, yes to the rest. Radia Barnes?
All right, let me see if I can get this right. No to 1, 3, 5, and yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, 5, yes to the rest. Wayne Benjamin?
No to 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No to 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Jim Berlin?
No to 1, 3, and 5, yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, 5, yes to the rest. John Benitez?
No to 1, 3, and 5, yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, and 5, yes to the rest. Daniel Bonilla? Hector Bonilla?
No to 3, yes to the rest.
No to 3, yes to the rest. Eliezer Bueno?
No to 1, 3, 10, conflict of interest on B, I work for DOT.
Hold that thought. So no to 1 and 3 and 10. Where was the conflict of interest? Sorry, I missed it.
B.
Oh, B. Oh, you work for DOT. Thank you. I vote no on 1, 3, and 5, abstain on 10 through 12, and yes to the rest. Darlene Cornell?
Oh my God. Hi, I'm sorry. No to 1, 3, 5, and 10, yes to the rest.
No to 1, 3, 5, and 10, yes to the rest. Nobles Crawford? No. Okay. Robin Cruz?
No to 1, 3, yes to the rest.
No to 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
Correct.
Stefan? Did I get it right? Okay. Stefan Davis, yeah.
Conflict of interest on Reso B as I'm employed by the New York City Department of Transportation. No to 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No to 1 and 3, conflicts on B, and yes to the rest. Catherine Diaz?
No on 1 and 3, and yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. No Emmy Diaz? Okay. Domingo?
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10, 11, 12, yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10 through 12, yes to the rest. Irwin?
No on 1, no on 3, no on 5, abstain 10, 11, 12, yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10 through 12, yes to the rest. Luana?
No on 1, 3, and 5, yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, yes to the rest. Sonia?
I haven't seen her.
No. Okay. John Francis?
No, John Francis.
No, thank you. Jonathan Fermetta?
He's on.
Oh, yeah.
No on the 3, yes to the rest.
Did you say no on 3 and yes to the rest?
Correct.
Thank you. Ty?
No on 1, 3, and 5, yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, yes to the rest. Tanisha?
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Heidi?
Not voting on B due to conflict of interest. I work at DOT. No on 1, 3, 5, abstain 10, 11, 12, yes to the rest.
That is conflict of interest on B, because your service at DOT. No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10 through 12. Thank you. Yes to the rest. Jody,
On 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
no on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Andrea, no. Leopold,
No on 1 and 3.
no on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. OC, Amina.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Tracy,
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10, 11, 12, yes to the rest.
that's no on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10 through 12, yes to the rest. Isidro,
Can't vote on number 11 because of conflict. They are part of my bid and I'm the executive director for that premise. No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
conflict on 11, no on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Anne? Megas?
No, yeah, Megas, no on 1, 3, 5, and 10, abstain on 11 and 12. Yes to the rest.
That's no on 1, 3, 5, and 10, abstain on 11, 12, and yes to the rest.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's online.
Oh, yeah.
No to 1, 3, and 5. Abstain 10, 11, 12. Yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain 10 through 12, yes to the rest. Indiana?
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10, 11, and 12, and yes to the rest.
No on 1, 3, 5, abstain on 10 through 12, yes to the rest.
Correct.
Elizabeth Lawrence Ritter?
No on 3 and 5. Not voting due to conflict on 1 because they are a donor to a nonprofit on whose board I sit. And yes to the rest. Oh, wait, and I abstain on A.
Okay, it's Liz, abstain on A. Conflict on 1, no on 3 and 5, and yes to the rest. Okay, yes. Bruce Robertson.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Happy
No.
Thanksgiving, y'all.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Gobble gobble. Steve Simon. Steve Simon.
Steve Simon, I know how he votes.
No one everything.
He's abstaining.
Is he going to tell us?
I heard for a fact, I haven't confirmed, he's abstaining on A and 9. He's voting no on 1, 3, and 5.
Hold on a sec.
It's 3.
Abstain, thank you. Abstain on A and 9.
A and 9.
Uh-huh.
He's voting no on 1, 3, and 5.
Is that all?
No, 1 second.
Okay.
He just told me he's voting yes on all the others.
What?
Okay. Steve Simon. So that is abstain on A and 9. No on 1, 3, 5, yes to the rest.
Can I change my vote?
Thank you.
Melissa Sims.
No, 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Eitan.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Lizette.
No on 1 and 3 and 5,
and yes to the rest.
No on 135, yes to the rest. Carl,
No on 1, 3, 5, and yes to the rest.
no on 135, and yes to the rest.
Yep.
Great. Anthony Viola,
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
no on 1 and 3, yes to the rest. Crystal.
Yes, Crystal's on. Yeah, he's on.
Hi. No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
No on 1 and 3, yes to the rest.
Yes.
Go back. And just going back to Mary Anderson,
Okay, no on 1 and 3. And abstain on 10, 11, and 12. Yes to the rest.
that is no on 1 and 3, abstain on 10, 11, 12, and yes to the rest.
Correct.
Did I miss anybody? Yes, Jim. I didn't miss you though.
No,
Oh.
I have a potential point of order with Steve's cuteness. Steve Simon himself has to tell us how he voted. So I will not bother with the point of, actually enforcing this. But, let's not play games.
No all 3D votes.
You got a doppelganger?
All right, did I miss anyone? Does anyone want to change any votes?
Yeah, I want to change my vote on 5 because I understand there's a typo. Did the committee reject their, please, I want to vote no. I want them to be approved. Thank you.
So that's a no on 5. That's changed from yes, okay, and yes to the rest. Great.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. The time is 9:12. Committee chairs that have announcements. We are in December. New Year.
I have an announcement, Chair.
Oh, Brandon.
Okay, thank you. Just really fast, our Housing and Human Services Committee is going to have city planning do a land use 101 training at our December meeting, which is on December 4th at 6:30. So we hope that you guys can join us.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
Any other members?
Motion right now. No.
Hey, hold on, you're, no, second.
Deal, second.
Second. All right, Steve is already on the mic. Let's give him.
All right, thank you. We had a very important meeting with the DEP Borough Commissioner, who personally came to our committee to discuss some recent water main breaks and shutdowns in Inwood. We had received comments from people in the community who were concerned about these shutdowns and the fact that they didn't feel as though they had received the proper notification, and they're also concerned about dirty water that's been occurring there with some frequency. And the deputy commissioner, Marty Patu, was, I think, very forthright with us. He conceded that there had been problems with communication failures. He agreed that they're going to try to do better. He's going to be talking to the Office of Emergency Management to prevent similar issues in the future. He explained that the discoloration in the water has been the result of an excess level of manganese in the Croton Reservoir, resulting because of excess rain. He's emphasized that these manganese levels that cause the dirty water do not present a public health risk. They have been responding by flushing the hydrants all over the place in Inwood. And I wish to publicly commend him for personally following up with a resident of Inwood who called into our meeting and had some concerns about this issue, as well as low water pressure. What he also promised was to come back at a future meeting to discuss the drainage study in Inwood, which had been promised to us some years ago in the Inwood rezoning. He's told us that that study is almost completed, and he should be able to return to us in early next year and give us a presentation or a report about that drainage plan. Finally, I just want to say the following. An amazing woman, Arlene Bronzaf, died on October 29th. She was an environmental psychologist, a researcher and advocate, the city's leading expert on noise issues and its impact on health and students' ability to learn. She helped the city revise its all-important noise code. She didn't live in our community, but she had a lasting positive impact on many of our residents. In the 1970s, one of Dr. Bronzak's college students at Lincoln College complained that the noise from the elevated subway tracks outside her child's elementary school, PS 98, on 212th Street, was negatively affecting the students' learning there, their ability to learn. In 1974, she conducted a study comparing the reading scores of students in the classrooms on the side of the building closest to the #1 subway line to the students' scores on the other side of the building. She found that the students on the northerly side were 11 months behind the students on the quieter side. Her study convinced the transit authority to add rubber padding to the tracks and the Board of Education to install soundproofing in the classrooms. In 1979, when she did a follow-up study, she found that there was no longer any gap in the students' reading scores. Generations of students in Inwood have had, and will continue to have a better education because of her work. This may explain why some of us are very concerned about noise issues in our community. I request that we adjourn this meeting in her memory and that this statement be included in the minutes. Thank you.
I just have one, I should have said this at the top of the meeting. Ebenezer's last day is December 1st. So that means that essentially in terms of just board operations, we have, of course, Paola and Noemi, and then I'm serving as, I guess, interim DM or like agency head. So I just ask for patience and kindness in this next month as like Paola and Noemi divvy up a lot of tasks. And myself, I'll be working remote and also within the office. So at least just for this month of December, if there are kind of like big things, I think it's still business as usual. We just might be a little delayed in getting back to you, particularly around any like agency requests for the month of December. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Happy holidays.
Good night, everybody, and thank you.
Good night. Happy holidays, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.